Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this lucky episode 13 here on Bloomfield with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, things are winding down for the year here on the farm. Our pigs are in, we've got them fed, so there's just not a whole lot we can do. We were busy last month, so our products have piled up here a little bit, so I'm going to take those off here in a minute. But first, I forgot to mention last episode that I did take that money we made from the bales and put it towards our loan. So our loan has been cut in half from 50 down to 25,000. Like I said, just to save some money here in the winter. No sense having a big bank balance and paying a bunch of interest. So I'm going to take these and sell them off, and I'll let you know what I get for that, and then I'll bring you back in. So I'll catch up with you in just a minute. Well, that netted us just over 3,000, so we're up to $23,972. But at this point, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to jump ahead to spring. I will look after things on the farm here throughout the winter, but like I said, there isn't going to be much to do. Our productions, of course, will carry on, so our money will continue to creep its way up even throughout the winter. But I will likely take and apply it onto our loan so we can avoid the interest. There's no sense paying any interest that's not necessary. So I think we will leave you there with a last look here at the fall colors here on the farm, and we'll see you in spring when the field work kicks off. So we'll see you then. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the farm. You may notice that it is not the beginning of spring, but rather the end of December. That's because there's been an interesting development. But before we get to that, you may also notice that our cash is down considerably. We're only at $6,800, but that is because I've been able to pay off the loan in its entirety. So although our slush fund is down considerably, we also have no farm debt. So that's some good news there. I'm certain it won't stay that way, but it's nice to be there anyway. Now we are, in the wintertime. As you can see, there is a bit of snow on the ground, although it's not all that cold today. It's only -1 right now, and the long-range forecast is for it to be fairly mild through most of December. But that's not what I brought you in for, to give you a weather update. The interesting development is I got a call early in the month from TFS, and he's going to be moving to Fort McMurray for the next year. He's gotten a lucrative trucking contract up in Fort McMurray, which is the heart of the oil sands here in Alberta, and it would be about 4.5 hours, kind of mostly north and a little east of us here. So he was looking for someone to look after his farm for a year, and what he's offering is he was going to set up a farm account and put 20,000 in there. He can't really afford to pay anything at this point, but basically everything that the farm makes we get to keep in that year. So the better we manage it, the better off we'll be. Now he is leaving all of his equipment, of course, except for his trucks, so we'll have access to that. He said he'll make sure that there's plenty of diesel in the fuel tank, and that we are free to use any of his equipment on our farm as well, and to use his fuel. So it's probably not the greatest deal in the world, to be honest, but he needs help. We've got the time, and gets our foot a little further in the door here in the community. He's also called Neil and told him what was going on, and asked if he would, help me out if I needed it, and he did agree. But I did a little calling around to see if it was something I should do before I jumped in. So, like I said, he called earlier in the month, but the wife and I talked, and we let him know today that, yep, we do it. So we are going to be looking after his farm and our farm. And we don't need to worry about the house. He's rented that out for the year. So, and he's told the owners that we'd be transversing back and forth, although we do have that back road in, so we can use that a fair bit too. So I think that brings you up to speed. So that's what we'll be doing. So we'll have even more work in springtime, because we'll have not only what we need to do on our farm, although admittedly isn't a lot, but we'll have everything on TFS's as well. Oh, he also said we were free to use all the pig food, manure, and a slurry that we needed as well. So forgot to mention that's another little bonus. So there's definitely going to be advantages to us for doing it. It may not be a huge financial gain, but like I said, better we do managing his place, the more we'll make. So I guess that's it for now. Just was out here in the yard, obviously wandering around, checking out the snow-covered Bloomfield. Now I think I will see you in the spring, so we'll catch up with you then. Well, spring is just around the corner here on the farm. I was just out checking on the pigs. They're doing fine. You can see I did get a manure pit put in, or manure heap. We've collected a little bit of manure, but not a whole lot, because of course our pigs are pretty young. We have been able to keep ahead on the pig food, no problem. From the base that we got from TFS last fall, we've just been adding the scraps from our production, and it's been keeping up no problem at all. You can see our money has gone up. We're up to 18,577. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, because as you may recall, when we started the farm, we were had a $50,000 cash account, but we were also $50,000 in debt. That debt has been wiped out, so that's the profit that we've made on the farm so far. But we've got to keep in mind too that we've added the productions. Of course, we've added our vehicles in here, our couple tractors. Most of the equipment we have is fairly old, but it's serviceable anyway. I did buy some lime and seeds in bulk. I just left it on our trailer here so that I could go and fill up our greenhouse. Didn't have to make so many trips back and forth to the farm during the winter on the icy road, so that worked out pretty well. And anyways, I think we'll get the door open here, and what we need to do is we need to run down to TFS's and kind of take a look at what we need to do down there. And I have some other news to share with you too, but I'll do that at TFS's place, so we'll catch up with you there. Well, we're down here at TFS's, and if you look at his farm account, we're down to $18,000, so basically we're losing money already. But I have been talking to Neil, and basically what TFS was doing in the past is he was selling off pigs to cover that operating costs. I did not do that. We did have some new bursts since we took over the farm the first of the year, but I hung on to them. And this was actually based on talking to Neil, and because things have changed down here a little bit in the fact that we were able to supply TFS with potatoes. Before, he was just buying potatoes in and making enough pig food just to, keep his pigs fed. But this year we were able to give him lots of potatoes, more than what he needed actually, and he turned all his crops into pig food. So we have 105,000 liters of pig food here in his production. And what Neil suggested is don't sell the pigs, sell off some of that pig food to come for operating costs, because it's far more valuable than the crops. I guess apparently he talked to TFS about that and suggested he buy more potatoes and make pig food rather than selling the crops, but he didn't want to do it. But Neil strongly recommended that we do that, and we'd be much better off. So I think that's what we're going to do here. I thought we'd take a look at the equipment a little bit closer, so we know what we have to deal with. And we're free to use this on our farm too, although we're fairly specialized in what we need. But this mower we could definitely put to use. He's got a seeder, a mulcher, a plow, and a cultivator sitting here. Of course, we're familiar with his tractors, and He did say we're free to use any of those tractors we need to, but he'd prefer if we could use the 1455 here, because that's the one he's been using, and keep the hours off these other ones because they're more show pieces. But if we do need to use them, we're free to use them if we do need to. But with our tractor, I'm sure this 1455 and our tractor will get everything done, so that shouldn't be a problem. Of course, we know he's got his little skid steer and his harvester. But another thing Neil had suggested to maximize the profits is one thing that TFS never did was really embrace precision farming. Now, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know Neil's a big fan of it. And he has made an offer to us. He said if we come work on his farm, he doesn't really need the help, but if we come and work on his farm, he'll teach us all about precision farming. And in return, we can use his specialized equipment that he has both on our farm and on TFS's. And he said that will help maximize what we make. He also said that his wife and my wife have been talking, and she'd like to get a few chickens. Always love it when you find out what you're doing from your neighbors. So he said he'd throw in a few chickens to get us started if we got a pen built as well. So we're going to do that. So there's nothing like working for free. So we're managing a farm that's currently losing money, and we're going to go work for nothing. It sounds like a great business decision. But I think we will benefit in the long run. So what I think I'm going to do is we will get loaded up here, and we will take some of this pig food in, because Ben said he's willing to buy it off us and resell it. So we'll see what we're going to get. So I'll get that organized, and we'll catch up with you in just a minute. Well, there we go. A full trailer load of pig food. From what I got from talking to Neil, I'm expecting actually about $1,500 per 1,000 liters. But I haven't talked directly to Ben on that, so we'll head down to his shop and we'll find out what kind of deal we can get. So I'll catch up with you down there. Well, Neil was right. Pig food is well worth selling. We did get 1,500 per 1,000 liters of pig food from Ben, so that's awesome. That's already more than doubled our farm account that Sim's left us. Now I imagine we have more pig food that we could sell, but I don't want to run ourselves short. Although Ben did say that he can only pay that kind of number through kind of the winter months and into early spring. But then once farmers have their own crops, he could only offer us about 1,000 per 1,000 liters. But even so, that's still like 30% above or so the crop value of selling them at peak. So still the way to go. So we'll see how it goes here. Maybe we can sell one more load here before summer hits. But it's already looking like we're going to do better than I expected on this deal, looking after this for TFS. I'm not sure why he wouldn't have heeded Neil's advice and taken advantage of this himself. But anyways, his loss is our gain in this case. So I'll get this back to the farm and parked up. And I think I will meet you tomorrow morning, as long as it's not raining, because there's some rain in the forecast. And we'll see if we can't get some field work done. So we'll see you then. Well, we're down here at Neil's, bright and early in the morning. You want me to come down and talk about spring work. And basically, I need to get the fields that I'm looking after in the same condition as his, which means they are mulched and limed and ready to be seeded. Now, TFS's fields are a little bit ahead of the curve on that regard than my single potato field, because his fields have actually been mulched. But before I can lime them for precision farming, Neil says I need to scan them. So what he has done is he's arranged to rent a scanner from Ben on our behalf. We'll have to pay for that, of course. But he has asked me to take this Massey down to Ben's this morning and drop it off there and pick up a new tractor that he's purchased. And he's had Ben put the scanner on that. And he said we can go ahead and use that brand spanking new tractor to scan our fields and then bring it back here. So that is what we are going to do. I can't believe that he is sending us down to pick up his brand new tractor. I mean, we have done a little work for him, but we don't really know him that well. But that's what he asked us to do. So that's what we'll do. Oh man, bad angle there. Oh, and just perfect timing for the train. So I'll meet you down at Ben's. Well, there it is, a brand spanking new 7S. Now I believe this tractor has like 30 or so more horsepower than his old Mass he had. He's got it all set up with a front loader attacher and the crop sensors for precision farming. And as he said it would, he's got the scanner on the back. Now we do need to pay for that. I'll probably pay for it from TFS's account, although it doesn't matter which one it comes from. Either way, ultimately it comes out of our pocket. But his rate schedule for his like used rental equipment, which this is a piece of, is 3% for the week or 10% for the month. So a little bit cheaper if you take it for the whole month. We certainly aren't going to need it more than a week, which would be 2 in-game days. So we'll send him $150 for that. I do like that anniversary livery on there. That looks nice with the bit of gray. But let's jump in. I did get some instructions from Ben on how to operate it, and a little demonstration in the field next door. So I think we're good to go. So we can go scan our fields. Now, in addition to scanning and liming and mulching, which of course TFS, as I mentioned, is done, some of our fields need to be plowed. TFS's cornfield needs to be plowed, I believe, and so does our potato field, according to Neil, before we can seed. So we've got all that to do to catch up to where Neil is at. But we need to get this scanning done, because when we go to put the lime down, it uses that data to put just the right amount of lime down on the fields. Now, I know TFS has a mulcher because his fields are mulched, and he actually just uses that mower to do that. And I've actually seen real live farmers on YouTube who use that exact mower and go over their corn crop fields after they're harvested to knock them down. Wow, this is a nice tractor. I'm surprised that Neil sent us down here to pick this up, a brand new machine like this. And not only that, he told us to do the scanning with it, seeing as it was going to be all set up. So far, this working for Neil has worked out pretty good. pretty speedy down the road. I don't think we've driven anything quite this fast down the road as far as tractors go, that is. I should have gone in the back way so it didn't bother the tenants there. I never thought of that. I'll try and get used to that because there is another way in. And of course we can cut across the back road, so to speak, to get to our place too, so we don't need to be going through their driveway. Now we get this unfolded. Wow, it does it changes things a little bit. This is a big sucker. We'll head down here. You can catch this whole leg of the field, just like so. Neil also mentioned there are companies out there that will come and do this for you, but this is the most cost-effective way, he said, to get it done. Do it yourself. But it's not going to take all that long here. Oh, I meant to jump onto the TFS account before I did this, so he'd pay for it, but like I said, it doesn't matter. Either way, it's coming out of my pocket, so we're still on our home farm account. I guess we can pay for the soil samples, and TFS account can pay for the rental. Kind of balances things out that way. So once we get the lime down, these fields up here, these two northern fields, they will be... Oh, I wonder if I could sneak into that corner. I think I can here. Yes, sir. They'll be ready to seed. As far as liming goes, we'll have to borrow Ben's. He's got a liming outfit, because TFS doesn't have one of those. So that we will need to borrow. Neil suggested we get everything, kind of all the farms up to the same spot, and guys kind of doing the same chores at the same time. Well, there we go. Scanned. And sent them off for analysis. So, well, I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing on my field. As you can imagine, that's not going to take very long. It's just going to be one scan. But I'll get that done, and we'll bring you back in for the next phase. Well, I'm down here at TFS's for the next step. I forgot because Ben owned the scanner, all the charges got sent to him. So from TFS's account here, I transferred $1,200 for the rental of the scanner and the charges for the soil samples. Just the way we have to do it here. I'm going to grab the tractor here and I'm going to hook onto the mulcher and we're going to get our field mulched. And then that'll bring everything up to par here between TFS and our field. And the next step will be liming after that. Now I did talk to my wife and she did confirm she's looking to get a chicken coop in. She'd like to have a few eggs to sell in her little farm shop there. She was thinking of about 100 or so chickens to start off with, so that's something we'll probably look at adding to the farm here this summer sometime. Actually going to burn a Yui here. Actually don't need to do, you can just cut across here. Rather than going out the renter's drive, we'll just cut across here to the road, back road to our place. Don't mind cutting across the fields that we're responsible for, but probably not a good practice to cut across the neighbor's field. So we'll just go around here. Now Neil said if we did all this precision farming right, not only would we have maximum yield, but we'd also get a bonus for farming in an environmentally friendly way. So definitely worth doing. Now we certainly could do this with our John Deere, I imagine, but why burn our diesel when we can burn TFS's? Yeah, I guess I could have just met you up at the field, but we haven't come this route that often. This will pretty much round out the episode anyways, I think. This little chore right now. I guess we'll have to start looking at where we might want to put that chicken coop here. I'm sure the wife will have some ideas of where she wants it, and we won't need to think on it too hard. Oh, my back hurts every time I drive by that pile of stone. That was a hateful job, picking all those up by hand. go at a cab here for a little bit at least. Oh, am I gonna make it? Whoa, 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 that's... Don't want to run over the neighbors. Looks like they've got their crop in already. This does make pretty short work of this. Not a bad option in game for mulching. I mean, there certainly are better, but for starting out, it's a pretty good option. Well, I think we're getting pretty close to time on this episode, so I think I'll leave you there and I'll just carry on and get this done. And I'll bring you back in and show you the end result. So we'll see you in a little bit. Well, there we go. All done. Looks good. Because it didn't take too long. But I have gone and checked our time, and we are out of time for this episode, so we'll have to carry on with the liming next episode. That will be the next step, and then we'll plow, and then all our fields will be ready to be seeded. I imagine at that point we'll have to go up and help Neil with his and get some instruction on what to do regarding seeding and precision farming before we carry on with ours. And anyways, I'm going to get this washed up, and I think I need to wash up my pickup too. It's sat all winter without getting washed. It's pretty dirty, so I'm going to do some cleanup here on some vehicles before I see you next time. So if you're still with me, I really appreciate you watching. If you found it entertaining or informative in any way, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you want to know when other content like this lands, hit that old notification bell. And of course, as always, feel free to comment as well. But for now, we'll call it a wrap here on Bloomfield. It's Farmer Murphy signing out. Till next time.